the actual area. We're not dealing in quarters and halves and three quarters. We're dealing in 1 point. And sometimes I'll go to pick an area and it's like 6250. Well, I have to make a determination. Do I go at 62 or do I go 63? Today I used the number above. But knowing that, I'm fading that market by at least a point or three quarters of a point. It's for me, it helps when you understand the levels to know how much you're going to fade it by and how the market's reacting as price moved up there. Well, we've been to our 48 and we've been up to our 63. Now we get to decide where it's going to go from here. I keep thinking we're going to retest that 46 down there, but I got to have a reason in an area to get short. To 9. Well, if you were able to hold on to that 63, you're getting paid off real well. I would look for it to stall maybe around the 52 area, but we should see 47, then that low. Like trading right below our pivot. Anyone needs the numbers and you came in late, just type in and I'll post them for you. Well, I wonder how the basketball coach is doing. I wonder if they're winning. And we're back to our pivot. Our blue band's coming in there at 58. 58 was also a level from yesterday. You're trading right at the settlement price from yesterday. Yeah, sure, Philip. Get you right in here. There you go. The numbers are in the chat. If anybody needs them. We still have people coming in and out. All right, we're coming up on 9 o'clock. Joe, you're welcome to ask the questions. I don't have the capabilities on my side here to turn on the mics. And we're not trading stocks. What we're here, we're all we trade is the E-minis. We trade the S&P E-minis. That's it. What we're doing, we're trading these levels. Yeah, every morning we put out these areas we expect that the market should reverse off of, from the upside, the downside, and we're here to scalp the market. It's not going to be a buy and hold. So, did you get the numbers this morning? If you didn't, I will post them in the chat. There they are. You should be able to see them in the chat. These are areas that we expect to work off of for the next 24 hours. We got down to 48, and it bounced up, got up to I got 67 in there. I'm sorry, that should be 63. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, 63, then 67. Let me go back in there and redo these numbers here, make sure I'm on the right page here. No, I had 67. The 63 was one I added in there earlier. I said, well, we should go up, but I have it written down here and I didn't put it in there. Sorry about that, everyone. If nobody took the 63, I quite understand. I posted some new levels in there with the 63 in the right spot. I apologize for that. Too much was happening this morning. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I want to see that 46. Yeah, welcome to trading. There's another unhappy customer. The fellow was just in the room made the statement that I made him fail. No, all I did was put out the numbers there. Now, and I'll tell you right up front, I never know if the numbers are going to work. But I'll also tell you up front, I'm trading the numbers I'm putting out up there. So you're kind of on your own. It just, you have to learn to manage your own life. And if you don't like the numbers, don't trade them. That's, if they don't make sense to you, you're not happy with them. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, that's true. I I don't worry about it. It just, you know, I'm I'm here to fill in. That's it. That's that. This is trading, and I tell you what, and I'm on the losing side of this critter. Yeah, we blame Saul. Yeah, we'll have to tell him that. That's all right. You know, I'm doing exactly what Saul tells everybody not to do. Do not come into this market with a bias. And I'm trading a bias. I love the way these guys do. What was he? Hmm. Yeah. Well, my problem is I see the pattern. I see what we should be doing. Okay, we're coming up to that 63 area. And then a lot of people come into the room and just, they come in, they have no idea what the room is about. Uh, or even how to even trade what we're doing. true. I mean, if trading was easy, it'd be, to me, it has become easy because, I do, it's kind of like I'm in a routine every day. This is what I do. This is all I do. So, if you comb your hair enough, it gets easier. That's something I know to do. It's just, and I think that's like trading. I think one of the problems that we have is there's so much information out there, and there's so many different ways to trade, and so many different personalities. Is trying to match the right system to the right personality, and go from there. I'd be a lot happier if we could get below 55. Good. I'm glad to see people that get their goals, and get out. We had one guy at one time, his goal was to make 2 points with a 10 lot. And he did. He'd jump in, hit his 2 points, he'd be out. I'm gone. Come back tomorrow and see what tomorrow's going to bring. It, and I don't know how you do that. I mean, I guess, what is that old adage? Physician, know thyself. And so everybody's going to have to do some inner searching and figure out for them what is it they're truly looking for. I know folks out there that want to subscribe to a service. You walk in, or they send you an email, you put the trade on, and they send you an email says get out, take a loss, whatever. And they do that. And hey, if that suits them, that is just wonderful. It's just not my personality. Yeah. And so if you can get to the point to where you can trade 5 lots, 10 lots, make a couple of points a day, 1,000 points. I mean, $1,000 a day is not a bad, but until you get to that point, you're stuck with trading your account size. When we first started the E-mini, the rule was you traded one contract for every $10,000 you had in your account. Now it's not that way. You got a $5,000 account, you can trade 4 or 5 E-minis, I think, depending on your brokers. It just doesn't leave you much wiggle room. It doesn't leave you. You make a mistake, you're out. Then you got to start all over again. And then you have to realize, we're not here to hold on to this thing for 20-point runs, but they do happen. And if this thing takes off and I'm on the right direction, I just bring my stop to break even, and I'm watching the points climb. And when they reach a certain level, I say, okay, I'm sitting there, if you notice these charts on the left-hand side, I got a 1 minute chart, and a lot happens in 1 minute. We're from this line right here, this green bar right here. This is what's happening in this 5 minute bar right there. This is Ninja Trader. I mean, it's just a chart. There's now I have Ninja Trader, and then I have Interactive Brokers clearing my accounts. I use Ninja Trader as my charting package, Interactive Brokers my clearinghouse that processes my trades. There's there's no magic. It's a 5 minute chart. The only difference that I see in a lot of charting packages is like this bar right here says this is a 9:15 bar. Well, it doesn't mean that it started at 9:15. It means that this bar will end at 9:15. So it's actually the 8:10 bar, the start of it. It started at 8:10. Now, I ran e-signal for many years, and I had my chart set up to where if I had an 8:10 bar, it started at 8:10. And I got used to that. So it was hard for me to switch over and get used to these. And I can go back in there and change it. I just hadn't spent the time to go into the system to do it. It's kind of like, eh, I know it's there. I'll live with it. We are trading. Did we make it down to 53? Made it back to our pivot. And I have a few more things on my chart that Saul doesn't have it on his charts. Uh, and I use them. If there's something on this chart that I'm not getting any use out of, I get rid of it. Now, I do have Bollinger Bands on here. If you see these little dots right here, these are the Bollinger Bands. And the thing about them is the Bollinger Bands I've colored white instead of red. Now, these other lines right here, those are Don chain channels. I've found a little use for Don chain channels. I like Don chain channels. I believe they're uh, I just found a little use for them, so I keep them. Uh, the 200 period moving average, the green one is right here. Uh, and the red one is just a 50. When we first started with Saul, he had Ninja Trader, and they were set up with a 200, a 50, and the Bollinger Bands. That was it. And he had these type of bands running on it. But through the years, we've ended up with a Bollinger Band and a Blue Band, which is, as you can see, this is a 20 and a 21 period moving average. And do you need both of them? Nah, because if I scroll back in time and I'll pull this up, blow it up here. When you look at it, they both travel right on top of each other. I mean, they may separate a little bit, but they're usually right on top of each other. But what makes a difference is what this thing is doing in price. We're coming back down to our pivot. I believe if we break the pivot, we'll come down here and at least test the 46. And I've been working a short up here at 57. And we did. And I'm out. Sure. I'll get the levels right in there to you. Let's see. Levels. There you go. Try that. Hey, Brad, you around?
Yeah, Mike, I did. No problem. I'll take care of it. And welcome aboard.
That 46 is it's got quite a bit of support in there. Yeah, I can highly recommend do not trade when you're taking drugs. It will cost you dearly. Nothing looks right on the chart. I know I had knee surgery and they come out and they gave me a bunch of pain pills and I'm taking the pain pills and says, I think I'm going to trade. If you do, play in the sim mode because it's going to cost you. That's from experience talking right there. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, they even tell you don't trade. I have to watch that 46. And we're just trading around that 48 area. Got a little resistance up there at the 53. Coming back to our pivot. What was our pivot yesterday? 16. And we got a little news out at 9:30 that natural gas, I think. Whatever, the ladder ticket's not lighting it up much, if it's lighting it up at all. The key level now is going to be with 46. '44 area, but we got a stable over 46. '47 is low, 45 and a quarter. Look, there we go. We're in 25. Yeah, I'll agree with that, Mike. Down in that 44 area from yesterday. Now let's see. I had a 45, 46. So that zone from 44 to 46 is a bunch of little support areas piled in there. We are just twiddling our thumbs at the moment. Basically, I'm done for today. Those couple of moves this morning turned out to be nice moves, and anything above 46, they can send this thing back to the highs. I was looking to get back down to that 45 area, and we did that. If I squeeze this thing up and I look at what happened last night, all of this area right across here, some reason my charts, I had a 45 down in there. I see the 48. $48. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're coming down into our 37 area. So 43. We're down in there 37. Just keep your stop in. Man, if you took the 37, you're getting paid off. You can see it's coming back up to 43, 44 area, maybe. We're below the 46 now. This thing could fall kind of rapidly. S&P's down 16, 17 points. NASDAQ's down 70. Dow's down 137. My goal now is I took the 37, scalped a little out of it, looking for the next trade. we break 37. We could see 33. Well, if you take the 37 straight up, you could have got a couple of points out of it. This is the third time to the well. There's that 36. If you got filled, you're getting paid off. All the levels are working today. It's just uh yeah, that happens to me a lot. You put it in there and you don't get a fill. There may be 25 orders there and it takes 23 and I'm number 24. Yep. I keep telling everybody, trading's like a streetcar. There'll be another one along in a minute. Guys, I'll be right back. Yeah, we're trading back up into that 43 range. Well, our next level below is going to be 28. Let's see. This is Thursday. They're taking it down in the morning, yank it around and send it back up on the afternoon, maybe. It wouldn't, I mean, that's been their pattern for the last couple of weeks. But we have to trade what it is, not what we think it's going to be, not unless we got a good pattern. I had a real good reason to believe we test that 46 this morning. We know we're coming back up and we've got some resistance up there at the 48 area. Now, the levels going back up, you can trade them, but you have to be awful cautious with them. Once we hit a level, we've traded around it, above it, below it, that level now becomes null and void. So, in theory, we don't use it again. We had that blue band coming down at 52. Got up to 49.50. $49. Yeah, doesn't it though? We're gonna get to see what happens when we get back to that blue band. Mine's sitting at about 51, 50, 51.75. If that blue band's going to work, I'd like to see it drop on back down into that 45 area. That'd be a nice trade. I'm not in the trade. I missed the entry. If it's going to go, it's going to go in about the next 15, 20 seconds. No, I'd say it's not going right now. But who knows? We've done been up there a couple of times and bouncing all over it. We're not pulling away from it far enough. Looks like they at least let this sucker rotate back to 5150. Excellent. Guys, if there's anybody got any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to post the levels again in the chat for those who came in late. You'll look at the chat, you'll see the numbers. And it's 10 o'clock. It's time for the guys across the pond to do something. I come back to 5150. These are zones that I was expecting this thing to bounce back down into. The first one was at 45, and that second one's at 42 area. So we know we got a little support down here at 43. We got down to 43. Should go to right in there, 41.50. These are zones to, if you're coming off that pivot area up there at 53, these are spots to may want to start taking some profit at. We got down to 41.75. There's a 41.50. Now, where are we going from here? No idea. I could see us going back all the way back to 52. I can see us going lower. But I was trading the pivot back down. And it took a while. Got a lot of clutter between, I guess, 48 and 52. See what happens when we get back to that 49 area. Hey, Mr. Brad. You got your ears on?
Hello, Don. I just want to give a quick shout out to Fwak. Hey, Fwak, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Cliff, welcome back. Give me a quick high sign that you're there. Don, I finally got Saul's thing set up and running again.
Okay. Well, let me stop sharing and you can put it up.
Do you want me to? Or I like your charts.
No. They're all right. Just,
You don't have to worry about that. You are, pretty soon we're going to see those other charts at some point here when Saul's looking the other way, right?
Yep. Now,
I can't wait.
Now the question is how are we going to do this?
How are we going to do what?
Well, I'm going to get the charts and I'll get them up and running. And then what?
Well, I think the idea here is that you're going to reach out to Glenn, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to set up a time to get together with him and glad hand him and be really nice.
Yep.
And just like you did with when you were running your big business with all I call it your garden center.
It's just greenhouses.
Right? Yeah, but ain't just greenhouses, man. You were doing a lot of great stuff. But anyway,
Tell Miss Brad she's going to have to get in and take over for you.
I believe her, she would. She asked me every day, did I make any money trading today? So so once you do that, and you get it all set up on your machine, and you're happy as a clam that it looks very close to what Saul's doing, then we'll just present it to him.
Okay.
Well, so I think if we can get really close to what his charts look like,
I get exact.
And if that happens, then we're going to be smiling.
Yeah.
Because I know you're the only person the reason I didn't do this myself is because when somebody asks me a question that's a little deeper, than I'm used to when it comes to the charting and the different packages.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you be there with your depth of knowledge to be able to do it.
Okay.
And then the concept of the template and that type of thing come into play.
Yeah.
And then we'll be dancing with a larger group of individual traders.
Yeah.
And that's the plan.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Sound like
But
fun.